now that you brought it up, I'd be really curious to learn about what are some of the pros and cons to both in-house and fractional operations leaders.
So for the fractional, I can speak for myself, I would say. More of the fractional, one of the benefits there is being able to get the expertise of somebody who has done the things without, you know, without a full commitment of hiring. So the benefits and the this and the that, or shares and all that kind of thing, right? You're able to do that. The commitment level is sort of lower. Now, some people believe that the fractional is they're not committed to our company because it's only 2 or 3 days. That's the idea of fractional. It's a fraction of the time, right? I don't think that that's true. In fact, oftentimes, I mean, if you want to go into stats and numbers and all that, it's been proven how much time people are actually working. And oftentimes, when you are focused on a particular project, you are focused on that project and committed to getting it done. It is also is the responsibility of whoever's hiring is to hold that person accountable if they're not delivering what you expect and you have not made that clear of what the expectation is in the beginning. Well, there's some ownership that has to go there. But with the fractional, the benefit is getting the expertise very quickly and not having to commit to something very long term if you feel it's not the right fit or it doesn't work. And really and truly should be a long-term relationship. So let's say you have a specific project, you need the support immediately, and it's going to go for 1 year. You don't necessarily want to hire somebody just because specifically I have this particular need. I don't want to hire them. What are they going to do after that? And so you would probably lean into working with a fractional, and that becomes what should become a long-term relationship. So if you had other questions about the business, this person already knows your business. They know you, they know the personalities. You should be able to reach out to them and, ask for some advice or some pointers, right? Down the line. So that's the pro. The con is, yeah, that it's a few days a week. Typically fractionals like myself are interested in having agency over our employment, and we love the variety in the work that we do. And so for some people, it is very hard for them to pay somebody who is not, sort of committed to them 100% of the time. Kind of like the battle we have right now with working in office versus remote. People are like, well, I'm doing the same job at home. Why do I have to come into the office? Well, it's a change in mindsets, change in, your personal comfort level that's there. And so some people are not really interested in that and feel that the commitment investment that they need from an individual, they want them to be, let's say, for lack of a better term, sold out for the organization. And, can you really get that from a fractional? I would say yes, for the time that they're working for you. It's not that they don't care about what you're doing because they want to be successful. That means you're successful, they're successful, right? The con or the pros of the full-time person obviously is what I shared is that, that person is supposedly sold out for the organization because you'll talk to a lot of people, they work full-time, but they don't they care too much about their employer or what they're doing, right? They can do the job, but they do the minimum. And so, if you feel that that is a better fit for you, it's going to make you feel better, then that's definitely going to be a pro. If you get the right person who's really going to be committed to you and they feel it is long-term-ish commitment and they want a long-term commitment, you want a long-term, then it's a good relationship. Like we're in this for 5 years or whatever it happens to be, then that's going to be a more of a benefit and something that you want to consider as hiring somebody full-time because we've got a plan here and it's at least 5 years and we need the same person on this. Now, I've heard of fractionals working for several years for an organization, but only for 2-3 days a week because the scope starts to change, right? Like we've graduated from this project, we have a new one, but it's related. So they continue to work for that organization. The con, I think there's lots of cons that we could probably think of for a full-time person. But I think really what it can come down to is You got to really figure out what the business needs and what they can afford, and what makes sense, what really makes sense for your organization. Like fractionals in very large corporations is becoming more common, particularly in finance, because it's just too much, and there is an abundance of them. Operations is more probably common for large organizations because you know what's happening in the business, right? And they're concerned about conflict of interest or that kind of a thing. You're embedded in everything. But I mean, finance people have that same responsibility, right? There's legal documents that we can find to resolve some of those things. So there's pros and cons to both. It really depends on what the need is of your business and what your comfort level is.